a star in the nighttime. I'ma go hard when it's my time. Yeah, I'm hard and I'm light. You know you can't pause when the time's right. Sitting in the stars and watching you. You gotta ride the time.
Hello and welcome to Season 3 on Chatbox with Sam. Tonight's guest is actor and musician, bass player, Sean McNabb.
Sean McNabb, everyone.
You guys have been a great audience. You're not ready for us to go yet, are you?
Hello and welcome. Ryan.
Hey, babe.
Hey, sweetheart. I've met Sean in person and he's one amazing, talented gent. Good evening, Sean. How are you?
Good evening, Sam. How are you?
I'm wonderful. And what's the first thing you'd like to say to the audience tonight?
I am honored to be on Chatbox with Sam. She's a good friend of mine. She's good people. And thank you for your patience in letting me, put this off a little bit and do it when I was available. And I appreciate it. And I'm glad to be here with you tonight.
He's great on the guitar. Absolutely amazing. I know it was The Who initially. What inspired you actually to pick up that bass guitar?
Well, we were, products of the 60s. My parents were into a lot of the 60s and early 70s bands. So we grew up, with parents that had like the beaded curtains and the water beds and the incense and all that stuff. And they were listening to great music, the Beatles, the Who, Steppenwolf, all these great, 60s and 70s bands. So we were brought up with that, and I always gravitated towards it. But it was the movie Tommy by The Who that I walked out of that theater that day just going, that's what I want to do. And it was The Who's music that inspired me.
I'm so glad as well because they're an English band.
Right?
Yeah, I think they were awesome. Who are you? I'm not going to sing because that would ruin the whole show. But
total side note. So that's the whole reason I play is because of The Who and John Entwistle. Mm-hmm. So we ended up becoming buddies later in the 90s. Mm-hmm. And one night he came to one of my gigs and he goes, and this made my whole life, Sam. He was like, Sean, you're a good little bass player. And I was just like, oh my God, it was full circle. The guy was sitting there telling me I was a good little bass player, and he was the whole reason I play, and I could have died and gone to heaven right there.
That's an honor, isn't it?
Yeah.
Coming from such a legend. And so then you carried on from there, and what I liked, you moved to Los Angeles. Where was you before you were in Los Angeles when you moved to LA when you were 21?
I'm a Midwesterner. I grew up in Indiana, Bloomington, Indiana. And, I played that whole circuit around the Midwest and ended up in Florida. And then I moved out to New York City in the wintertime after living in Florida to join this band that had a deal on Polygram. And for one reason or another, it didn't work out. And I ended up going back to Indiana and then driving to Los Angeles with $200 in my pocket, a couple of guitars, 2 changes of clothes, and a beat up Nissan Stanza and a dream.
Aw, and you did it, because look at you. And then I met Sean, I met him a couple of times, but I went to see him for a Van Halen tribute band. And it was called the Brown M&Ms, after Van Halen liking the brown M&Ms. So that was at the Canyon Club in Los Angeles. I will have to say that I've just put a short video on YouTube of Sean coming up to me. I went, Sean McNabb, everyone. Got 2,500 views in 2 days.
I was so embarrassed by that. But let me clarify, we are not a tribute band. Like a tribute band is a band that like dresses up and tries to, emulate the, they completely copy it. What we do is, we're just 4 guys in the industry that love the early Van Halen music, and we're heavyweight cats. We got Jimmy Kimmel, Toshi Yanagi from the Jimmy Kimmel Band. We got Joe Travers from Zappa plays Zappa. We got Eric Dover from Alice Cooper, myself. Um, so we just try to catch the vibe of what early Van Halen was doing. We're not
Okay.
like trying to be a tribute band at all.
I do
But
apologize.
that's okay. But we just want to catch that magic that they had because it was so special and it was like lightning in a bottle, you know.
Well, you did. The crowd was certainly full of magic that evening. It was fantastic. And then you became an actor. So what inspired you? What was that change of thought in your mind that made you wanting to go into the film industry?
Well, it wasn't really a change. You know, I grew up in theater. I was always in drama classes at our church and stuff. I was in all the plays, school plays. So I had actually been acting before I started playing music. And then when music took over, I just, you know, put all my focus on that for many years. And then when I got sober at 39, I was like, you know, I'm going to do some things other things that I'm passionate about too. And that was one of them. So I started studying again with several acting coaches here in LA. And because, you know, I didn't want to suck, you know.
You don't suck.
So I, you know, started building some credits, started studying again and just getting passionate about it, you know. And if I wasn't in one really hard career like the music business, now I'm in two.
Now you're in two. And in sobriety too, by the way. I'm very proud of you. I know we had a short conversation about that. We met in person, very short, not detailed. And I put my hats off to you. It's not easy to do. So thank you for being so honest with that. And hopefully that will encourage other people to take that step to heal too, because I know it's a healing process, you know. And
It really is.
very proud of you.
I survived the 80s, Sam. You know,
Right. Me too, just
you
about.
know, and
Yeah.
we did it all. And I'm not going to lie, we had tons of fun, you know. And but a lot of my friends aren't here anymore, you know,
Oh.
that didn't get sober. And that's, you know, that's the byproduct of that. And, you know, it just works for me. I don't condone or look down on anybody that parties. Hey, have a great time, you know, be careful.
Right.
But it just stopped working for me. And I had to just cut everything out, you know, because that's just the way I'm wired. I do everything 100% or I don't do it at all, you know.
Oh. Well, that certainly helps you in your career though, because you're very, very talented and you pursue your goals. And that's great. What would you say to the younger generation to pursue either industry? What would be your main focus on what you would tell them?
Well, I think you have to be passionate about it. You know, I think a lot of people these days, it's the quick fix. I just want to be famous, you know, and that's the wrong reason to get into either of these careers. You know, you have to be passionate about, you know, the music or the acting. You have to want to read plays. You have to study, you know, just like you got to learn your instrument, you know, school is good, all that stuff. I'm a knucklehead, man. I learned everything the hard way with the music, you know, and just playing with guys that were better than me. And, but I would say, you know, have a passion about it and know what you're getting into, because it's really, you got to have a thick skin, you know. We deal with a lot of rejection, you know.
Yeah.
If you can't handle it, you're going to find out real quick if you can or you can't. And, you know, you better have a thick skin because they say no a lot.
Yeah, they say no more than they say yes, don't
Oh,
they?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I know. It's like Friday night at the bar. No. I'm just kidding.
Like when I'm, you know, in it with the music or whatever, or in the middle of a scene, and I know I can feel it. I'm connected to the other actors, and we know, you know, what's going on. The hair stands up on your arms, you know, and it's same thing with the music, you know. It's pretty soon you don't have to think, and it just kind of takes over, and this beautiful energy happens, and that's the goal.
It is. And I know you were in the Mayans and Sons of Anarchy. Would you like to share your experience with the audience regarding those projects you were in, if you're allowed to
Well,
talk about them?
yeah, of course. Well, Sons was a great learning experience for me, and that was first. It all started with, I had been in some other stuff, but at that point in my career, I learned so much with Sons. I learned how to be on a set. I learned, I got to watch some of the greatest actors on a daily basis do their thing and be like right there. So it was great training for me. And I'm so grateful for that. I was that show was about 8 people, and everybody else was just kind of around. And I was one of those people that was around. But I learned so much. It was an invaluable experience for me. And I get recognized more because that show was so big from kind of just being around on that show than I do some of the films that, I've had big roles in, or you know what I mean? So it's interesting. And then that led to me being a stunt man on the Mayans because I do the guns and the motorcycles and the fights and stuff like that too. So I was very happy to have that roll into another series that the Sons of Anarchy were a part of too. But just being a stuntman was incredible on the Mayans.
That's awesome. Dangerous, but awesome.
Yeah. Well, I don't do high falls or anything, but we do the fights and the guns and the motorcycle riding.
Yeah, you do. So have you got any other projects coming up? I know I've seen on IMDb there's Jade 2023 coming up this year.
Yeah, I'm super stoked about that. That's getting ready to come out on Redbox. And it's kind of neat when the credits come up and there's Mickey Rourke's name and my name, down the call sheet a little bit, but I'm in there. And that's kind of neat because I always loved his work. So to get to do a movie with him was great. So that's coming out. I'm also in this new movie called Rock Bottom, which is not out yet. It's kind of a rock and roll story that's going to be coming pretty soon. But most exciting is a film that we wrote, me and 3 other actors, called Road to Terzetto. We wrote it, we starred in it, we produced it. I scored the film.
Oh.
So we're not just actors sitting around waiting for our agents to call with auditions. And now we're filmmakers, and creating our own vehicles. And I think that's an important thing to do, is you have to create content.
You're creators now, and produce and direct, of course.
Yeah, and we learned a lot with our first feature film. We learned a ton.
Yeah.
And you don't know how much work that takes until you make one and write one and score one. Oh my God, thousands of hours on the score. But,
I know, and then it's the funding as well. It's so much work. People don't realize behind the scenes of how much work goes into something, and even with that, it's a lot of no and a few yes too, because everything takes money and time and dedication.
And people sometimes will watch a movie and go, "Oh, that was terrible," and they don't realize all the work that people, blood, sweat, and tears they put in, and all the passion and everything. And granted, a bad movie is a bad movie, but at the same time, that was somebody's muse.
It was someone's passion, and they tried.
Yeah.
At least they tried. They didn't sit just thinking about it. That's why I don't like the movie critics, because I think, I think, until you've tried it, you can't criticize it. Until you've walked in that person's shoes, you can't walk in that person's shoes. It's give credit where credit's due. Whether you think it's bad or not, you got to think of the hard work that went in behind it, and that person didn't give up on at the beginning. At least they went through with it, and I have huge respect for anyone that does that.
Yeah, and they were probably knocked down 30 times trying to make that movie. Oh, we lost the funding. Oh, this happened.
Right.
And they got up and they kept going. And I want to say thank you to you, because you helped me out with the accent, which is so perfect I love your accent, but when I needed it, you helped me out, and I will never forget that on a movie that I was doing. I think it's going to end up on Hallmark,
Is it?
but
I liked it. I love you in your
first
top hat,
movie.
and you sounded so British. I was like, wow, he sounds really British. You sounded really good, and I love doing stuff like that. I've helped people out with sides before.
You were
I've
great.
never done a voice for someone before, but I come home and I went and I read the sides and I said it, and I wasn't going to talk about it on this show. I thought you were going to keep it quiet, but
I'm
so
glad you did.
so I sent him. He sent me the sides, and then I did it in an English accent, not a posh accent, but just a regular English one, and he nailed it. Nailed it. And that wasn't me that did that. That was you because you wanted to. So you were really good. And I watched the clip. I did watch the clip of you
I
speaking
sent
in
it.
the English accent. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
oh.
Accents are tricky, they can make or break. But I've always been like, I have to drill it for a good 2 to 3 weeks. Just drill it, and I had your help in it. And I just wanted to say thank you for
Oh,
that
you're
because
so welcome.
and they loved what I did. So I think they're writing me into the second one, and we'll see what happens with that.
Yes, I hope they should let you in. If you need any more, just let me know. So I'll
Yeah,
definitely. I loved doing it. I thought it was
I'm trying to
fantastic.
get you a part, girl.
Oh no, I'd probably freeze on the spot. I can't do an accent for toffee. If I try and do an American accent, I could do French and Irish, Scottish, German.
Nice.
But if I try and do American accent, I sound like I'm from Texas.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
You can't put it away. You can't put that English accent away, huh?
Can't
No.
do it. Can't, especially
That's
the Irish. The Irish comes out, occasionally. I ask people not what they necessarily donate to, but what they advocate for. And I saw what you advocate for with the charities that you do. And I'd like you to share with the audience about the charities that are close to your heart and what you do for them.
Well, I'm a board member on the DO Cancer Fund, and that is one that's near and dear to my heart. We've all known somebody that's had cancer,
Mm.
and we've all dealt with it in one way or another in our families or our loved ones or friends. So imagine if there were strips, like saliva strips, to test for cancer. I think a lot of people are afraid to go to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
So what the DO Cancer Fund has been funding is research at UCLA for these strips that are just saliva strips that could be a first marker for cancer, which would be incredible.
That would be
you know.
amazing.
And so we're super passionate about that. And we lost Ronnie James Dio, the great Ronnie James Dio, over 10 years ago to stomach cancer. And I've been a part of this board. We've had some Harley rides, and now it's concerts and bowling events and stuff. But we fundraise for that for research at UCLA. So I'm super passionate about that.
And your Harley Davidson rides for charity. I want you to share about the Harley Davidson rides. I think them are awesome. They do that up here as well at Christmas.
Yeah, we do all kinds of runs and things like that. But my motorcycle club, the Booze Fighters MC, we do a thing to hillsides. It's our toy run.
Mm-hmm.
So, we bring up hundreds of toys every year to the hillsides. They call it an orphanage. I don't like that word, but home for children.
Mm-hmm.
And so we show up with a truckload of toys, and
that's fantastic.
And the kids get to come in and pick what they want, and it's pretty cool.
Is there an organization name that you use, or that people could donate for and help?
Well, it's the Booze Fighters 101 chapter, but we do pretty well on our own, with getting the toys and stuff like that. We do get some donations at some of the Harley shops, but for the most part, we go out and buy a bunch of stuff, and everybody
Oh,
brings stuff, but yeah, it's neat to know that the kids had a good Christmas.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. So, and you do the golf thing as well, which that
Yeah,
was interesting.
I did that a while ago, so I haven't played golf in a while. So I think that might be dangerous.
Why is that?
Just I might hit somebody with a ball or something. Not with it, but we've done a lot of them, and that's always fun, But I'm not a serious golfer. I'm terrible.
Oh, me too. Did you know I got kicked off a golf course once? I just moved to the United States and I was bored off my trolley, to say the least. So
Probably.
bored off my trolley, my brain. So I was bored. So I was in the golf cart, and then my friend said, "We're gonna go across here, so stay on the path." Well, I didn't. I went up the hill, and while I was going up the hill, I was singing the Benny Hill song, and they threw me out. True story.
You drove hard up there?
Well, I didn't make air, but it was.
No, but you drove the cart on the greens where you weren't supposed to or something?
Well, I didn't know where I was supposed to go, to be honest. And you did some acting classes.
3 or 4 different coaches here, and Anthony Gilardi is my current acting coach.
Mm-hmm.
So he really got me. That was a game changer for me. He's here in Los Angeles, and that upped my game a lot working with him. And so now when I get something super complex or something like that, I go in and do a pre-production with him.
That's
if it's
good.
Yeah, if I feel like it's a house or something.
And you've got your band. Where can they see you? Because I know you're playing in different bands right now, and you're going around. So where can they go and watch you play with your band?
Well, this year was interesting. Usually, I'm used to being in 1 or 2 bands and working a lot. This year, I've been in like 9 or 10 bands.
Oh wow!
And just the way that it worked out, Let's see. This week, I am playing with a singer-songwriter at the House of Blues in Anaheim her name is Kat Conley. And then that's Saturday. Friday night, I'm playing with the Tina Turner tribute band that I do, who's amazing, Debbie Holiday.
Oh,
And
wow.
we have a ton of fun with that. And we've been working a lot, with Tina passing and everything.
I know. God bless her.
Schedule has picked up quite a bit, but we have a ball with that.
Oh.
So, yeah.
So he's in Los Angeles, and Sean is on Facebook, and he's on not so much on Twitter.
No, I'm on Instagram, Sean McNabb Official. I'm on X now, they call it, Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on, yes.
No comment.
Oh, you're going to always call it Twitter.
Twitter. I'm on Twitter, darling. Send me a tweet. I do put you in the tweets and the Facebook. I do share your stuff on there. So
I don't look at Twitter too much. So.
No. It's very political, that's why.
Oh.
Isn't it?
Okay.
But Facebook and Instagram's really great. Sean, he's
TikTok.
He's on the TikTok too. TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to have some time if you're on the TikTok. So you do your own socials, are you? Will you be interactive with the people that follow you?
Oh yeah, I do my own socials. Sometimes I wish I didn't.
Me too.
Yeah, because it's just so much work, to post to all those platforms. But my wife's really good at it, and she kind of showed me how to do it. But I'm still learning all the time. Somebody showed me how to shoot a video on Instagram and get all those great filters, and you can save that to your phone. I'm like, I had no idea.
It is good. If this was the last time you were ever going to speak to anybody Sean, what would you say? The last moment.
Wow. I don't think anybody's ever asked me that in an interview, but I would just say, um, when you think you sink, I think people tend to overthink everything, and we're all guilty of it.
Hmm.
And for the most part, I think that can be uh, wasted rent space in your head, and wasted energy and time. And because the truth of it is that it's going to turn out the way that it's going to turn out, whether you are planning something different. It's in someone else's hands, not yours. So I would just say set yourself free of over analyzing everything, and
Hmm.
just take in what the universe brings to you, you
Right.
know, and don't freak out, when the going gets tough. That's an important thing, I think you got to just trust that the universe is going to take care of you.
I like
And
that.
yeah, I think that would be my advice.
So, would you like to do a little strum on the guitar, or did you want to save that for when you're live?
Well, I'm a bass player, right?
Yeah.
Guitar is a different thing.
Hey,
And
without
I'm
that
not,
bass though.
yeah, I'm not very good on the guitar, but I'm a bass player, true and true. But
I know.
yeah, you're in the lab right now. This is where I learn all the tunes. So there's just like bass guitars everywhere.
Hmm.
And when I get off with you, I'm right back into my
Music.
world, yeah, of learn,
Oh.
prep, and that's what I do. I'm a professional song learner.
Oh, well, I love the way you say that. That's very humble because you say learner. That means, there's a lot of people say I'm a professional, but you say learner, and that's awesome. That's very humble
A
of
lot of
you. And you're doing more in acting now. So you're actually doing
yeah. I want to
both.
If I have some solo stuff out there, like if you put me into any of the streaming services or whatever, I've got some solo stuff out there. Which, if you put my name in, it usually pops up on Spotify or this or that. No, I've got a
Oh,
couple of more singles that I'm going to be coming out with there. So, yeah, check that out.
I will.
And yeah,
So you're on Spotify. Do you have a website?
I don't, I don't,
Okay.
I should, yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, you put me into any of the, Apple or Spotify or any of those things. I will pop up with some stuff there.
Oh, absolutely. Sean is involved with Safe Harbour Films and the Seven Seas project. He will be coming on as a character in the Seven Seas. He's got a part in that, and so that's how I was introduced to Sean. Would you like to share a little bit about how you feel about this part of Seven Seas and being
Well,
involved?
I'm so honored to be involved. And Tony and I go back a little ways. There was another project that he had cast me in that is still on the back burner. And it was the writing in Seven Seas that just blew everybody away,
Mm-hmm.
And so we're super excited about, getting that one off the ground.
Ground.
Yeah, I'm completely honored that they wrote me a part, and it's going to be incredible. But I think with anything, it all starts with the writing, and for me, the writing is so good that there was no way that I could say no.
No, and you met a few cast members that I brought in. So
Yeah,
Tom Conkel's going to be the showrunner and Vernon Wells, and they're doing a project right now in Australia, but they're involved too. So with all the epic graphics that they can make, and the great script and the great writing, and have a great director and producer, it's going to be epic. So
it
I'm
absolutely
looking
is.
forward to collaborating with you.
Me too. And I've been out on the pickets doing my thing. I've been out
Have
twice.
you?
It's really neat. There was a couple thousand of us out at Universal Studios on a Friday, and just the solidarity of it. was everybody. It was casting, it was the actors, it was the teamsters, it was the caterers, it was we were all out there together, and just the way it felt was really great. The solidarity of everyone coming together for a greater cause. We're working on an archaic contract,
Right.
that was implemented before any of these streamers came along. So, there's a lot of points that need to be changed, residuals being one of them.
Oh, I
AI,
know. I've seen some residual checks that they're not even worth opening.
yeah.
Right? It's
Oh,
not,
I've
it's
had a few.
terrible.
Every once in a while, a good one comes, and you're like, yes. But same with the music business. I've gotten songwriting checks for 17 cents before.
Oh my. Why? It's more than the stamp, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's an insult to people's talent and hard work, and they do need to change it. And unity is powerful, and it's the only way to create change. Unfortunately, the bad part is when, not the working actors, but I mean I like the way the actors are all in unity with each other. They all support each other, but the big executives and not to mention any names, when they're not struggling for money, when they're not working, they don't lose anything, do they?
yeah,
It's the ones and the working actors like yourself and others that when they're not working, it hurts them. How are they going to pay the mortgage? How are they going to pay the food, the bills? It is affecting them. So they need to hurry up and give credit where credit's due. Give a fair contract
yeah.
to hard-working people, because it's expensive to live, and they put many. It's not a 9 to 5 job, is it? They're putting many hours in. So give them what they're worth, and that's what I think too. So
Absolutely.
thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
If I was in Los Angeles, I'd be on the picket lines too. They go, "Who are you? Where are you from?" I'll go, "Doesn't matter where I'm from. It's where I'm going that counts."
They would love you.
Oh, thank you. They love you too. Sean McNabb, have you got any last words for the audience?
Just thanks for listening, and it's great to be on Chat Box with Sam, who's my friend, and
Oh, bless you.
I look forward to hanging out with you when you come to LA and the group, because it's just such a great group of people, with Safety Harbor, and
Right.
it was really special. You guys came out to the gig, and I think everybody had a pretty good time.
Wasn't that fun? I have to say, guys, go and see Sean. And oh my gosh, the M&M's band. It was brilliant. Absolutely. The atmosphere. That's what makes the night, is the atmosphere. Everyone had a fantastic time. Fantastic.
And if you love early Van Halen, it's the brown M&Ms, which is a Van Halen thing, which they used to make somebody pick out no brown M&Ms. So they'd make somebody pick out all the brown M&Ms in the M&Ms bags, just to see it was on their rider. So we named the band Brown M&Ms, which we thought was kind of cool.
I think it's awesome. Yes, because there's a big story behind it with Van Halen. Yes, so I think it was great. Yeah, and that was at the Canyon Club in Los Angeles. And you can see it on Sean's Facebook page. So follow him on Facebook and follow him on Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
So,
and just so people know, I knew Eddie Van Halen. He was really great to me. And our singer was the singer at all Eddie's parties, and Eddie Van Halen was a cool dude, really cool, for a huge rock star. And he lived right up the road from me. So we became pretty good friends. And that is a terrible loss. And another reason that we're fighting for this cancer research, another huge reason. And so check us out, the brown M&Ms, if you like that early Van Halen. And Sam, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Sean McNabb. It's been an honor and a pleasure to talk with you. And thank you for being on Chatbox with Sam.
bright star in the nighttime.